Howdy, y'all. Welcome to the Rainbow Crossing, a podcast where Gen X and Gen Z discuss life's challenges and how we face them as queer people. We have these open conversations to foster a sense of community through different perspectives. My name is Julio Guzman, and with me is...
Daniel.
How are you doing, Daniel?
I am doing okay. You know, we've got kind of the worst of both worlds right now here in Texas, where we had that cooler weather hit a week or two ago, which unfortunately caused allergens to hit early. Definitely. But now we're back to hot weather. So like I have allergies and it's hot outside.
A lot of people are feeling that way. And thankfully this time I haven't been one of them.
I know.
I've been avoiding it. Everyone around me has been coughing and they're like, don't worry, it's just allergies. And I'm like, sure, Jen, everyone's coughing right now. And I'm over here trying to just not be coughing.
Yeah. Coughs take on a different meaning these days than they used to. So,
but if people say it's allergies, then I'm just going to trust you.
I feel great. In other Texas-related news, did you hear about our glorious Attorney General Ken Paxton and his latest...
Nope, spill the tea.
Oh, gosh. So Ken Paxton, who is, you know, a notorious right-leaning, homophobic, transphobic individual, he is suing the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services over a rule requiring that LGBT youth in federally funded foster care programs, federally funded, be placed in affirming homes. Sounds like a pretty good idea to me. You know, if you're gay, you want to be placed with people who are okay with you being gay and support you. The rule was finalized in December. Under it, to be considered a designated placement for LGBT and intersex children, the foster care provider must commit to establishing an environment that supports the child's status or identity and be trained with appropriate knowledge and skills and facilitate the child's access to things that support their health and well-being.
That sounds great.
All sounds great.
Is there a but?
So the rule doesn't require that any care provider become a designated placement. So you don't have to do this for LGBT and intersex children, nor does it penalize providers who don't wish to receive this designation. But it does require that state and tribal child welfare agencies offer enough of these placements to accommodate the children who need them. So in order to get these federal funds for it, the state of Texas has to implement enough.
Makes sense now.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, what an asshole.
Yeah. There you go.
Because what's that taking away from you, sir? Nothing. Nothing at all.
It's just putting people in homes where they'll be supported. I don't understand why you would want anything other than that.
I don't either. And nowadays, with everything that's going on in the world, how are we just not coming to terms with just being kind and helping out where we can? I don't understand.
Yeah.
As we're progressing, it's 2024. Don't you think things should be getting better and people should be understanding life a little bit more?
No, that's not what's happening here.
I didn't sign up for this. I did not sign up for this.
I don't think any of us did. Yeah. In other gay news, I don't have really great news today.
It's been hard times these past couple of weeks.
It has. Yeah, it has. So it was reported that LGBT adults are at 15% higher risk of adverse brain health outcomes compared to our straight peers. This includes dementia, strokes, and late life depression. And this is according to a new study in Neurology, magazine Neurology, which examined data from nearly 400,000 participants, of whom about 10% identify as LGBT. The lead author stressed that there are no indications that simply being LGBT causes these outcomes, but instead is likely the result of discrimination, which, of course, as we well know, can cause stress, depression, and anxiety. So not only do we have to deal with the discrimination and the things that it immediately causes, but that could lead to later life adverse brain conditions like dementia.
I mean, I've been seeing it. You do forget where things are every other day. You don't know what time of the day it is. And so it checks out.
Who are you?
How did I get in here? I honestly don't know.
Yeah.
No, we need to take care of ourselves even more. But that's kind of just been our life most of the time. We've always had to take care of ourselves a little bit better than most.
But we also need to understand that through both of these news stories with LGBT youth not getting the kind of treatment that they deserve and then just as an adults, that we kind of owe it to each other to take care of each other as well. Our LGBT brothers and sisters are all going through the same things, many of them, that we are going through. And so we need to be supportive of each other. Everybody's going through something, and it's very likely that they're going through something big on a level that we can probably understand. How can we just meet each other in the middle and figure out what kind of problems each other has, and how we can be there to support each other?
Well, we can start by knocking down the stereotypes.
Oh,
Do you think of that?
stereotypes. Our world is just built around stereotypes.
It is. And the gay community has plenty of them.
Yeah.
Whether you're in looking in or you're outside looking
Right,
in,
right.
there's plenty.
Yeah, sometimes it's worse on the inside. It's hard to get past stereotypes because that's oftentimes the only representation of what we have on media. So especially as gay people in the 90s on television, when you had very few examples of gay people, Will and Grace, Queer Eye for the Straight Guy, the original Queer Eye show, they presented gay culture to the masses, but it was still done in a relatively stereotypical manner. So even though straight culture was getting a glimpse inside of gay culture, they still only saw this very narrow view. So gay people are oftentimes viewed as a very specific type of person with very specific type of characteristics and cultural background.
Which I feel like the top of the list is probably femininity.
Yeah.
I feel like that's a pretty good stereotype of gay people.
Sure.
Most gay people are feminine,
Yeah. I would guess that that's probably number one.
And even on the screen, we rarely see masculine type gay people.
It's getting better, I think,
Definitely.
especially as more gay people are in Hollywood, are open and are producing and writing their own movies and stuff.
It has gotten better.
I think we're seeing that in a better light than we once did. But
Most of the time, it's been stereotypically feminine.
yeah. And is that true of the gay community or not? I mean, in your experience, in your personal life?
In my personal life, I don't know. It really just depends on the person. Because if you think about it, gay people, some of them who come out want to not feel as seen as a gay person. So they kind of stick to what they know. And
They overcompensate, in fact.
correct. Yeah. Or a lot of people my age and a lot of Gen Zers, when they are comfortable with whatever, they explore in it. They explore a little bit in the femininity, which I did a lot, especially right after high school. Some crop tops, some shirts, some skirts.
Yeah. Our guest last week on our discussion about gays in the military, David, he's 41 years old. He is, 6'4", something like that?
I don't know if
6'2".
He's between like 6'1" and 6'4".
He's
We'll go around
6-ish.
there. Yeah.
For those of us under the 5'9" mark, he's
Anything just
he's
looks-
yeah, he's a giant. He's a big guy. He's a muscular
Yes.
guy, and he himself was saying that he's always been really gay, and people knew, and there wasn't really a question. I don't necessarily see a lot of femininity in someone like him, someone who served in the Army for 20 years, has that build on him. So the idea that someone like him can embrace femininity at times, at least, I think just speaks to what is one of the brilliant things about gay culture, and that's just the ability to embrace all sides of your personality. And no one is born all masculine or all feminine, whether you're gay, straight, male, female. We have all of these characteristics
Facts.
inside of us. And yeah, being gay doesn't mean that you're going to be feminine, but being gay does allow us to not play by straight men's rules. And we can be whatever we want to be.
And embrace it.
And embrace it.
Instead of putting it off to the side and maybe pushing it down a little bit deeper to where, oh, this sounds very sexual. But anyways, pushing it into a place where it's making you more focused on being very macho when you really
Right.
don't need to uphold that.
Right. It's got to be exhausting for straight men to live at that level all the time, Because surely there's something inside of them that wants to, when a song comes on and it's a male-female song and the girl's part comes on, you know they want to sing the female parts. You know that they do.
It's catchier.
Yeah.
It's more groovy.
Yeah.
You know, when the guy starts, he's like, oh, okay, well,
Yeah.
that was all right. And then the girl comes on and everyone gets hype. It's usually how it goes.
Yeah. Yeah. Poor straight men.
Or gays trying not to be too gay also applies.
Very that. Another stereotype that gay men are all stylish, all have fashion sense.
Yeah,
and
I mean, that's obviously not true.
I was just going to say that about you.
Well, I guess I beat you to the punchline, so now you're just copying.
You know what? I think I look fine today.
I'm joking,
Thank you very much.
Pink's great on you.
This is vintage, probably from the 80s or 90s or something.
Really?
It was definitely thrifted, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Work.
Yeah.
It's in great condition.
Thank you.
So, stylish.
Not
always true. But if you're confident in it, it could be.
Confidence makes anything stylish. Like, you can pull off almost any look when you have the confidence. And I do think that is one thing that obviously, again, it's a stereotype. And even positive stereotypes ultimately are negative.
Yes. That is a big stereotype. I've had a lot of moments where girls are like, oh my God, what do you think of this? And I'm like, well, first of all, I'm going to give you the tea and it's going good. But a lot of people aren't good at that. And I've seen it multiple times where they're asking their gay friend and it's like, is that the gay friend you want to be getting advice from?
Well,
no tea, no shade.
You take something like Drag Race, which in and of itself sometimes uplifts a lot of stereotypes, because I think that they cast people by stereotypes, but they have challenges based on fashion. And some of the queens are amazing at it, and some of the queens clearly are not. Even when they have other people make their stuff, clearly fashion is not the first thing that enters your mind, but they have their other strengths. They may be funny.
Yes.
They may be a good dancer,
They
performer.
might be able to sell what they got, and it makes it fire.
They might have that confidence. So even people who are in the spotlight for supposedly being fashion forward icons of the gay community oftentimes are not fashion forward. So obviously it's just a stereotype.
Definitely.
I think the important thing is to feel comfortable and enjoy whatever it is you're wearing.
1,000%.
You don't need to spend a lot of money
at all.
Because I definitely do not.
Literally, most of my clothes is thrifted, especially from like the past 3-4 years.
Right. Another gay stereotype that we all walk fast. Do you fit in that?
I walk fast?
Yeah.
Another example. I'm very much the guy to lead my friends everywhere. And there's been so many times where I've gotten irritated just because they're getting irritated with me, which makes me irritated at them. Because I feel like I'm walking at a normal speed, you know? I'm listening to the music around me, walking at a normal tempo, what I think is a normal tempo. And then everyone just starts shouting at me, stop! You're going way too fast! And I'm like, what? I don't think I am. So for me, it definitely applies. I do walk fast.
Same. I'm a fast walker also. But that is my normal thought process.
Because you're gay.
Well, given some of our friends and how slow that they move.
Well, that's mostly the brain adjusting, taking a while to adjust.
That's what I'm saying.
We're at ultra speed over here thinking, whoop, whoop, whoop,
that's
going,
what I'm saying.
You
like,
know?
I don't think it has anything to do with us being gay. It's just the fact that that's the way our minds work. And then it translates into the body, and the body needs to move fast.
Yeah. I will say that's probably about like 80% true, though. That stereotype probably.
I think so.
A lot of gay people I know be zooming.
Yeah.
Zooming, zooming, zooming.
Yeah. We got places to be. We have a very busy social calendar.
For sure,
You know, we're just not going home to the wife and kids. We've got things to do.
I mean, some are still dropping off the kids, but
well, yeah. So this one, I'm not sure I can deny this next gay stereotype for anyone in the community, that we love female pop stars. Whether it's of my generation, Madonna or Whitney, Cher, of yours,
I mean,
Beyonce,
Britney, all the way through
Britney,
Beyonce, Christina Aguilera, hello, all the pop divas.
Yeah.
The newer pop divas, they're still giving. They're the only ones holding up the music scene right now.
Right, exactly.
If I'm being honest.
Yeah.
And also rap women. Ever since women really progressed in rap,
Right.
they started running the game.
Right.
I'm sorry. Now anytime there's a duo and the man starts rapping, I'm like, back to the girl. Come on, let's get there. And then when she starts, I'm like, here for it.
We've always said women are just better than men
are
in general.
better.
So why would we not support these iconic ladies?
Definitely.
My very first concert was Cher.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah. This was 30 years ago, and it was maybe not that long ago. But it was her.
It was.
How could it be that long
Joking.
ago? When I was 5. It was her farewell tour. So her first of many farewell tours.
Wow. How many has she had?
I don't know.
Has she had a lot of farewell tours?
I don't know, but she's still
I don't
here.
either.
She
She is still
around.
here.
Yeah. But I know that this is a stereotype because there are plenty of gay men who are not into that. Maybe they're
Facts.
into metal or
Yep.
country or
Yep.
whatever the case may be. So I know it's a stereotype, but the world that we live in, like all of our friends, they may not support the one that we
they got
support,
one.
but they got one.
They got one that's
Yeah.
at least in the top 3.
Yeah.
For sure.
Exactly.
Every gay guy has at least a pop diva in the top 3.
Yeah.
Do you have a pop diva?
Oh, my original pop diva was Whitney Houston. And
good one.
my one regret is that I never saw her in concert before she died. But I remember being on a bus in 5th grade and we were going to some field trip. I don't remember where it was. But I Want to Dance with Somebody was playing on the radio in the bus. And I was just, who is this? I was just captivated.
Yeah, you love your Whitney Houston.
I do love Whitney.
My pop diva is probably Dua Peep.
Yeah.
Just
She's amazing. And honestly, when you and I were confined during COVID, her new album came out.
Yep.
And
She ran the house.
She ran the house.
she ran the house.
For a solid month or two.
I think that's why she's probably my pop diva, because she was probably like my first pop diva. Obviously, Britney and
Of course.
Beyonce, they're classics, but like
Yeah.
my day and age, Dua Lipa for sure. And she's just stunning. She's just
She's gorgeous.
in my eyes the most
Yeah.
beautiful woman ever. Dua Lipa, if you're listening to this,
Yeah.
I will go bisexual again for you. She's that 2% of me that loves women.
Speaking of the part of you that loves people,
Okay.
the gay stereotype of being promiscuous.
Promiscuous boy, wherever you are. Yep. That's a fact. I'm sorry.
A fact for the community or for you?
A lot of gays, we like to be promiscuous.
We've talked about this a little bit before. Is it a stereotype for gay men or is it a stereotype for men?
True. Are men just naturally the animalistic people that they just,
Right.
you know,
Right. Yeah.
any chance they get, make
Yeah.
it 2 guys. Hello. So I'm going to go with fact, in my opinion. In my eyes, mostly every guy I've met has been very flirtatious. I think nowadays, most guys you meet that are gay start off with flirt.
Is it because the way we meet gay guys through apps where people are more inclined to have sex? So is it just the level of exposure that we have to these people?
I feel
or
like just because of the day and time it is and how gay culture has risen these past couple of years, it has started off with, at least for a moment in my experience, it's been like, every person you meet, you're either going to sleep with, date, and then they'll be your friend.
I have been sexually active before.
I hope so. At least once, Daniel.
Yeah. Yeah, it happened. I have been promiscuous, and I feel like I'm out of that phase
Yeah,
a bit.
same,
So
definitely.
I think people, I think it's something that can come and go, obviously.
For sure.
And I think that there are plenty of gay men who are doing things and acting in ways that we don't see because they are not on Grindr or Tinder or whatever app. They're not going to the gay bars. So we can't see them because they're not in our bubble.
Were they promiscuous to begin with is the question.
Well,
I feel like at every point in time, at some point at least, if you're young and feeling frisky or flirty in whatever age.
but is that a younger thing?
I mean, that's all I know. You know, that's how my experience has been. Right. I feel like every person that I've met within my age or a little bit older or whatever, even in their early 30s, they're very flirtatious and it's very like, what we doing? What's going on? And now I have a on it, but back in the day, I didn't have a little chain on it. So it was like, oop, okay, I'm down. Oop, okay, over here. Let's go, whatever.
Right.
You know?
Right.
My experience, at least.
Yeah, your experience.
And from also what I've seen from a lot of people around my age.
Well, we have a lot of friends, and we witness their behavior as well.
Somebody's dated that person's dated that person, I've dated this person, and now we're all just friends.
Right. It's like that photo of the 10 guys who are in the kitchen or wherever it is, and how does everybody know each other? We're exes, we're married, we dated, we hooked up.
So to answer the question, are gay people stereotypically promiscuous? What would be your verdict?
At the end of the day, I think most stereotypes are stereotypes. They're not absolutes.
For sure.
I think that men have a lot of testosterone at certain ages, some certainly more than others, and therefore that leads them to certain behaviors, which I don't think necessarily has anything to do with being gay per se. I think it has more to do with being male.
Mm-hmm. I agree on that.
Yeah. So how about this one? Being dramatic.
Dramatic.
Yeah. A gay stereotype is being dramatic or overly emotional.
Honestly, I've been all these things at one point in my life. So like it's to me, I'm like, true. I've been those things, but not every person's dramatic. Some people actually don't show much emotion and would rather just be to themselves.
I think it's also relative. Like your level of drama may seem like nothing compared to the friend down the street.
For sure.
But your level of drama might seem super dramatic to the friend whose emotional base is way down here.
But that just goes with how long they care. You know, how much do they care for you? If they're taking what you're saying as just drama and you're overreacting, but in reality it's something that's hitting you very deeply.
Sure, it can also be a matter of perspective. Like someone on the outside looking in may see you as being dramatic. Someone who actually understands the situation and the circumstances may just think that this is an important topic to you. So
yeah, I don't think gay people are more dramatic than the normal person, if I'm being honest.
Yeah,
maybe louder, but dramatic, not so sure.
Do you think though that gay people are more in touch with, as a whole, with their feelings than straight men?
At least for sure, some percentage more than straight people. Straight men have this much knowledge of their emotion, and
it often seems that way.
Yeah, at least what it comes off as. So with a gay person, they should be more in tune with their emotions, but sometimes it could probably just be even more sensitive.
Yeah.
In regards to taking everything a little too personal by for being the victim most of your life for whatever scenario it is. You've painted that picture on yourself, and sometimes it's hard to get out of that element of feeling like the victim every single time.
Yeah, and that does bring up the point of the fact that drama is often thrust upon us as just people who are just trying to live our lives.
Maybe gay people navigate their drama a little bit better.
Yeah.
You know, just from it being, because I know a lot of people come to gay people with their drama. Yeah. They're like, what do I do? What's going on? Blah, blah. That is true. That is very true. A lot of y'all be coming to your gay friend to find out what the tea is and your perspective and what's going on. And
yeah, I think a lot of our straight female friends will come to us when they have problems. And obviously, I think females turn to each other oftentimes.
A lot of the time.
But if they're looking for a male perspective, I think they will turn to their gay friends oftentimes because we know how to emote and connect with other people who are emoting versus straight men who sometimes, because of just that toxic masculinity, hit a brick wall with some of that stuff and just don't know how to engage with it. It's something that obviously can be taught, but sure, I think a lot of people will come to gay men because we have unfortunately lived drama that has been thrust upon us and feel a little more comfortable with it and are okay expressing it and finding a solution to it. My obviously straight white father can't handle any kind of drama. Just discussing it is almost impossible, but after a few moments of it, like it just needs to be swept under the rug, never talked about. Let me bury it. Probably suffer a stroke as a result of not talking about it.
Yeah, don't hold things in. It'll make you sick.
Yeah, yeah. So, are we dramatic? I don't think so. But are we connected with our emotions and are able to handle them
Better.
better? Sometimes,
So we like to think.
at least we're acknowledging them and facing
for
them.
sure.
And sometimes some of us, especially at a younger age, when we haven't experienced these things, we don't know how to navigate through them in a mature way.
So you'll start doing more drinking, and you'll start doing some drugs, and you'll start going out every weekend to cope for the fact that you can't deal with what you're dealing with.
Right, which only leads to more drama in the short run.
But that's not what we're doing here on this channel. We're practicing the total opposite.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. That reminds me of the next one, which is, are gay people party animals?
Yes. Without a doubt. Without a doubt. Don't even look at me like that, because without a doubt, like, I know you're going to try to vouch and like bring us down to earth, but 95% of the gay people, obviously I'm throwing a random number out there.
Yes.
But it seems like 95% of the gay people that we know love to party. You hear everybody talking about how the gays know how to party. We've seen so many different videos talking about the gays.
I do think that, again, we're in our bubble, so we see our reality in one way. But, we have a lot of people in our lives, or friends of friends, who are like big Dungeons and Dragons players, or who love board game nights.
And guess what? They still party.
But sure, some of them do, but I think a lot of them don't. I think the party animal stereotype, I think, is false. Even when I was throwing parties and I was going out regularly, I just wanted to be around my friends.
Yeah.
I wasn't even drinking then. Now, a lot of my friends were, but that's not where my mindset was. And I think that there are a lot of people out there, and I honestly think that a lot of our podcast listeners will chime in and say, I don't think that I fit into that part of the stereotype.
For sure. And trust me, I'm saying they do exist. I mean, I'm a lot more calm now. I'll still go dancing every here and there, but was I a party animal? Sure. Was a lot of people that I know party animals? Sure. Were you a party animal? I think you enjoy a party. I think you've enjoyed a party or two. And it's now, obviously, you don't party much, but when you do go out, which is very, 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 very rare, you have a great time.
Yeah,
I mean, you love to socialize.
Yeah.
And you love to be out in that
But that's
atmosphere.
the thing. I like to socialize. I'm not there to party.
Well, it's a party. It's a party. Gays love to party. Gays love to go to parties. It's a thing.
I think it's a little relative. Again, is it gay people, or is it just people in their 20s want to go out and experience life and have fun? And
well, when you're gay, you're 20 for a while. Do you want more factual evidence?
yeah. Yeah. I'm not sure how factual this is. I'm not sure where the data is.
There's no data. There's just perspective.
Yeah.
I'm still going to go with yes. You went with no.
I'm going to go with no on that one.
I hear you.
Yeah.
But the stereotype is true. America.
So this stereotype, I think, was much more prominent when gay people were really just becoming accepted and coming out, perhaps in the 90s, 80s, 90s. And that is that gay men have very stereotypical feminine type of jobs, like hairstylist, interior designer, that sort of thing. How do you feel about that stereotype?
Well, the only guy hairdressers I know are gay. So
yes, but when you look at all the different types of jobs
I know.
that our friends
that
have,
is a stereotype.
Yeah.
Gays are working in every single thing you can think of.
Everywhere.
It's not just the feminine goodies, you know. It's also the masculine areas.
Now, of course, we do know a few friends who are hairstylists, gay friends who are hairstylists, of course.
Our ex-roommate,
yeah,
hairstylist.
Yeah.
And super gay.
When I was growing up in the 80s and 90s, even straight men who were nurses, for example, nursing was long considered to be a female job.
Yeah.
And male nurses people looked at them and thought, well, you must be gay. And there were plenty of male nurses who were straight. I'm sure the predominantly were straight and are straight men. So it's really interesting from a job perspective how it's been viewed by straight culture, male straight culture predominantly is setting the tone here. But yeah, that's a stereotype
For
that
sure.
clearly is not true, especially as we have more people who are out. And we could list all the different types of friends that we have who are attorneys or realtors or doctors, who are very successful or who are just doing a job until they figure out where they really want to settle on.
For sure. Everywhere.
So, yeah. And I would say, the type of job that you do with personal training, like that's, in my mind, that's a very masculine job. Exactly.
But I'm also like, hey, girls, come on. My class is filled with women most of the time.
Yeah.
And I love it.
And I'm sure they love you.
Definitely.
Yeah. We have quite a few friends who are gay personal trainers or who work in the fitness industry. And I'm sure the girls love all of y'all.
At first, I mean, there's moments where I'm like, oh, this class is looking like it's mostly women. Then I'll click a playlist with just like all queens and we're just like vibing.
Yeah. So this last gay stereotype is that gay men can't sit normal in a chair.
Factual, because I've moved like 20 different times.
You
I'm here. Oh, wait. Gay people sit weird on chairs? We don't know how to sit? What do you mean? I really don't understand what you're saying. Gay people... What was the question again? Do gay people stereotypically sit weird in chairs?
That they don't sit normal.
Normal. Mm-hmm. What's normal? Is this normal?
Well, there you go. Yeah. Man spread.
When straight guys sit like this, I'm like, what are you doing? What are you doing? I'm trying to behave over here, and they're just like man spreading, and I'm like, sir, boop. I'm walking away.
What does that say about gay people? I think it says that we feel comfortable how we feel comfortable, and we're going to express ourselves in the way we want to express ourselves because we have fought for that right to do that. And so,
we fought for the right to sit in this chair the way we want to sit in this
not
chair.
Not that. We fought for the right to express ourselves in the way that we feel comfortable with. And we apply that to so many parts of our lives. And if you want to sit in a chair and put your legs over the back, then do it.
Mm-hmm. However you want.
Yeah, exactly.
But I'm going to go with Stereotypically, a lot of gay people do sit not normal. Here we go. Quote unquote normal. Whether it's a little bit to the side, whether it's crossing one leg, whether it's putting the one under like this or back to over, whatever it is, whether it's up here.
Yeah.
It just never stops.
Yeah.
It never stops. And I have so many different pictures of my friends sitting weird. And it's like, tell me you're gay. Tell me you're gay.
I think that anything that, for a straight man, anything that isn't just like this or like this.
Sitting gay is the new limp wrist. You know what I mean?
There you go.
It's the new way to tell if someone's gay.
Yeah. Oh.
How are you sitting?
Yeah.
Let's see.
There you go.
Because a straight guy's gonna man spread. Probably the gayest thing. We're over here being, I'm just gonna close my legs. And then straight guys are like, whoa, I'm not gonna close my legs.
I remember crossing my legs and as a kid and it being considered gay, like, because men don't do that. But I really just think it is an application of the fact that we feel free to be who we are. We feel free to express our emotions. We feel free to wear whatever fashion thing we want to wear, whether it's fashion or not. It's something that expresses our individuality and uniqueness. And sitting is just another component of that. So perhaps it's a stereotype, but I think it just speaks to the fact that we are individuals and straight men are a collective and feel very uncomfortable straying outside of the norm for fear of being called out for something. This is mildly off topic, but why gay men are actually stronger than straight men is that, we have forged this armor against outside criticisms for being our unique, authentic selves, where straight men have to follow this literal straight and narrow path. and for fear of being called out, for being called gay, for being called feminine, for being, anything that isn't masculine.
Yep. Cross your legs if you want, straight guy. We support you.
Yeah. Yeah. Wear that thong if you want to. Whatever.
Well, are there any personal stereotypes that you faced as you?
Yeah, and I think you can probably relate to this because I think just from a physicality standpoint, when I was first coming out, I was so tiny. I mean, I was definitely twinkie. So I had to have been a bottom.
That's been told to me my whole life.
Because you're shorter.
Oh, you're short.
Yeah.
They automatically assume I'm a bottom. No, I'm a top.
Right.
Short kings, they exist, and we are tops. Short kings stand up.
Well,
They
we can't
probably
see them.
are. They probably
Yeah.
are standing up right now.
Yeah. Oh, well.
Just can't tell. I'm with you, though.
Oh, our poor short king.
As I've gotten older, it's been more acceptable, I will say. But I've been mostly a true top most of my adult life. So it has been a shocker.
Yeah.
A lot of friends would always send me memes of like a Great Dane getting humped by a Chihuahua. Be like, this you? And I'm like, I get that one at least once a year. And there's also another one where it's like top and it's like 5'5", and then it's like with their bottom and it's like 6'2". And I'm like, another one that I get all the time.
Yeah. Which I think is really cute. I think that dynamic is really a fun dynamic. And again, plays into who we are as gay people of like, throw stereotypes out the window.
For sure.
And live your authentic self and be true to whoever you are. I think that it's so cute to see like this big masculine bottom guy who is just like all sweet and adorable and in love with his little short king top. I think that's so cute.
They exist, but most of them are taken.
Well, it feels like the good ones always are.
Yeah. I'm waiting for just me to be at that 30 age where everyone who's already been in a relationship is in a relationship and everyone who's my age is finally ready to like settle down. And then maybe there'll be a moment.
It's coming.
We'll see.
You're getting
going
close.
8 years strong on this single.
You know what? One day you may look back and think, wow, those were good 8 years.
Oh, now I'm having a good time.
Yeah.
Now I'm having a good time for sure.
That's a stereotype in and of itself, is that gay men are going to be alone for their lives. And it's one of those that we talked about a couple weeks back about our fears, and being alone as a gay man can be a very fearful thought. But we see so many friends who are in relationships
Definitely.
that are made up in all sorts of ways.
For sure.
Monogamous and non-monogamous and poly and all of these different things. But we see a lot of people who are very happy with their partners. And I think that was a stereotype projected upon me by my parents, my mom specifically, when I was first coming out. And that was, I was always going to be alone.
My mom told me the same thing.
Yeah. Like, how can you ever be happy? It comes from a place of them not realizing, oh, there's actually a lot of gay people out there. The fact that I live in this little bubble and don't know any gay people does not speak of what the gay population is.
Facts.
And it's a stereotype that, though, was thrust upon us. And this is actually why stereotypes are so harmful, is that when you're getting someone else's view, when you're getting someone else's stereotypes and you don't know any better, you haven't done your research, you haven't lived any life, that gets thrust on you, and those become your beliefs.
For sure.
And when you are a gay man and you're presented with gay stereotypes, you think the life you had ahead of you is already spelled out. It can be very problematic, traumatic, depressing, when you think, I've got to live life a certain way because this is what gay people do. Where when you boil it all down, gay culture, what do we really share in gay culture other than that we are attracted to the same sex? At the end of the day, we're all individuals, and we all bring something wonderful and beautiful to the table. And what's so cool about gay culture is that it spans all these other different cultures. You can be white, you can be black, you can be Hispanic, you can be Asian, you can be from literally any place in the world, and you're bringing something different to the table than I bring to the table, which I think is a beautiful, beautiful thing, and what makes our LGBT community so amazing.
Yeah.
And what really says that, yeah, at the end of the day, yes, maybe we fall into some stereotypes that aren't really based on our community, but are just based on the fact that I'm a man, I'm young, I'm all these different things. But I think the gay community as a whole, the representation of a rainbow really suits us well because we bring all these different colors to the table.
1,000%. And if you do fall into any of those stereotypes, there's nothing wrong with it either.
No,
like embrace
no.
it. If you feel like you're just being you, that's who you are.
Right.
You know, whether it is being feminine, whether it is being a hairdresser, whether it
Yeah.
is like whatever it is, if you fall into all those specific things that are stereotypically gay,
Yeah.
well, hello.
Right.
We're gay.
Right.
And gay people are also just very explorative people. Like
Yeah.
we really are trying to find out who we are. And sometimes all we know of what being gay are those specific stereotypes. So you might dabble in it for a bit just to figure out if this is you, if this is my energy, because you're really just discovering a whole new world when you accept the gayness.
Yeah. Stereotypes often open a door into a culture or community that you may not know about otherwise. But step in. Like, don't just open the door and look in, but step in and actually experience it, because once you get there, even...
It's no longer a stereotype. You're getting substance of what is in this culture and
Yeah.
actually embracing it.
Right, right. It's varied and it's different, and that just speaks to how we should see people as their individual selves and not as just some homogenous group of people.
I agree. Well, let's break down the stereotype.
Right. People are people at the end of the day, and let's individualize and respect and love on an individual basis.
Well, great conversation.
Yeah.
It was nice chatting with you.
Yeah.
With your lack of fashion and your femininity and your, what am I
My
missing?
masculinity.
Oh, yeah, that's what I meant.
Yeah. I figured. Bro.
Yeah, bro. Back to the man spreading we go. Anywho.
Anyway.
I'm joking. I love you, Daniel.
I love you too.
Thanks for hanging and thanks for tuning in.
Yes. Please like, comment, subscribe, and we'll see you next week.
Bye. Love y'all.
Bye.